Good morning. Just getting yourself settled. Come lying on your back with your knees bent and your feet resting on the earth. Just taking a few moments to allow yourself to settle into the space and arrive. Allowing all of the parts of your being land into the body and into the moment. And then looking in at the back of the neck, just connecting in with the spine, tucking in the chin and making the back of the neck long. Let the shoulders drop down and soften and relax. And just take a moment to be in the body. Taking a breath in, just following the breath into the body and noticing how the breath is an opening, it's an invitation. It opens and creates space on the inside. And then as the breath just gently leaves the body, there's a feeling of a deep letting go and how the body slightly contracts. So we're going to work with that openness and letting go. So the openness is the receptivity to bringing in the new and bringing in life force energy. And the exhalation is letting go. So letting that aside, bring your awareness to notice the back of the body, traveling to the back of the head, feel the back of the neck, and notice the shoulders, asking the shoulders to just soften, and then come down the back of the spine. Come down to the back of the pelvis and the lower back, and again, noticing the pelvis and the buttocks are an area where we often hold a lot of tension. And again, just see if you can rest onto the earth. See if you can just open and soften. And then coming down the back of the legs to meet the feet. And again, see if you can open the feet and allow the feet to soften and rest into the earth. Just noticing how when you open the toes a little bit, there's more of a connection to the earth. And then allowing your awareness to really travel down and connect up with the feet as much as possible. Just scan in to the feet and scan up through the feet and the rest of the body, noticing how the physical body is feeling, noticing physical sensations. And notice how the body feels nice and soft and relaxed in some places, and it may feel a little bit tense or a little bit tighter or a little bit uncomfortable in some places. Just noticing how the body feels. And then resting your awareness in the palms of your hands and notice and connect in with, feel into sensation. We hold a lot of energy in the palm of the hand. So just feel into sensations of heat, cold, pulsating of blood. And tune into how the energy body is feeling. What is your level of energy this morning? How is your energy this morning? And then resting your awareness in the space in between the eyebrows, behind the forehead. How is your mind? How is the mental body? And gathering your awareness into the space in the center of the chest. Just connecting in with the heart space. And if we begin to see the heart space as another brain energetically, we develop a different relationship. We take that mushiness out of the heart space, and the fear too of connecting with our heart, that it is a brain. And there's a lot more balance if we're connected with the head and the heart. We make different decisions. We feel differently, we act differently, we think differently. So just being in the heart space and taking a breath in here again, and just noticing how the in-breath creates space and a sense of openness and expansion. And then as you exhale, notice how the letting go feeling comes into the heart space. Just noticing that. And then asking mentally what it is you need. What's your heart's prayer for this class, for this yoga practice? What do you need right now to feel a sense of balance in your life? I'm going to plant in the seed of acceptance, that self-acceptance is a superpower. When we just accept, oh, this is where my body is today, and we don't push against that, it's a different practice. Just accepting where our bodies are at, how we're feeling, just accepting what is. So as we take a breath in, we're just going to breathe in that energy and awareness of self-acceptance. And as you breathe out, you just allow that self-acceptance to disperse into all the little cells in the body. And then bringing your attention to focus in on the breath. Try to notice the breath without changing or controlling or trying to breathe. Like you notice the sea and the waves coming in and out. Just noticing the breath coming in and out. The body is being breathed. And then asking the breath mentally to slow down and deepen. Slow down and deepen in a very natural way. And letting your attention fall into and noticing the rise and the fall of the belly. So for some people, they like to place their hands on their belly. You don't have to, just be in your awareness. Just be with the belly, rising and falling. And the breath still flowing, nice and natural. And you've asked the breath to slow down and deepen. Now ask the breath to be equal in the length of the inhale and exhale. So just noticing, counting silently how long the inhalation is and how long the exhale is. So we'll try a count of 3. So inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. So noticing how that feels for a breath or two. And then trying 4. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Noticing how that feels. And if it feels comfortable, let's try count of 5. Breathing in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And finding a ratio that's most comfortable for you. Letting the breath just flow in and out as you silently count. And noticing as you breathe in how the belly expands and opens up, and there's space created on the inside of the lower belly. And when breathing out, the belly gathers back in to let go of the breath, to let go of the old. So being with that sensation, creating a sensation of the belly being like a bellows. Just exaggerate that muscular movement on the inner belly, keeping everything else nice and relaxed. So just 4 more breaths like this. And then letting the breath settle. Just keeping that equal length of inhale and exhale, but not needing to exaggerate the muscular movement. We're going to contain that breath and continue to breathe like that as we begin bringing in some physical movement. So just checking in with the chin nice and relaxed. The neck, the back of the neck is long. The shoulders are nice and soft. And we're going to move with that awareness of accepting the self. Just total acceptance. No resistance. So as you inhale, allow the head to gently rotate to the left. Exhale. Let the head come back into the center and repeat that on the other side. Inhaling, head rotates to the right. Exhaling back into center. And repeat that once more. As you breathe in, it creates space in the body to move into. As you breathe out, you let go. And then the next inhale, let the head rotate to the left and let the right arm come up overhead. Repeating that on the other side. Head gently rotating as the arm comes overhead, opening up the shoulder blade, softening the shoulders and opening the back of the shoulder blade downwards to create space in the shoulders. And just repeat that once more. Head and arm. We're doing opposite sides, working with the brain. And then both arms and let the head stay in center, keeping the chin tucked in, keeping everything nice and soft, using both arms as you inhale overhead and exhale down. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, the arms come back down. And just repeating that once more. And then bringing your heels close to your buttocks with your feet hip distance apart and the toes facing forward. Tuck the chin in, feeling the length of the back of the neck. And on the next inhalation, press deeply into the feet as you allow the hips to rise up and bring the arms overhead. Inhaling, let the hips come up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, pull the muscles of the lower belly and the pelvic floor in and upwards as you allow the spine to come back to the mat and the arms gently coming back to the mat. Keep the chin tucked in and try and keep the lower back and buttocks relaxed as you practice. Keep the emphasis on the feet going into the earth, pressing down. Keep the feet active as you let the hips come up. Keep the feet active also as you allow the spine to come back to the mat. And see if you can keep your awareness on the spine, lifting upwards, one vertebra at a time, and coming back one vertebra at a time, sort of like an uncoiling. And the next time you exhale, stay up in the exhalation and come down with a pause after the exhalation. So inhale, push into the feet, allow the hips to come off the floor, arms overhead. Exhale, stay here, pulling the muscles of the lower belly down and in. And pause the breath and bring the arms, the spine, and the buttocks back to the floor. And practice that twice more. On the inhale, create this lovely sense of openness in the chest area and the rib cage. Feel the inhalation opening up, gradually opening and creating space in the ribs. Exhaling, focusing on pulling the muscles of the lower belly in and up. Pause. Move through the pause, bringing yourself back to the mat. And just repeating that once more. Become aware of the stillness in that moving the body in the pause of the breath. Sorry. And then hugging the knees into the body when you're finished. Gently releasing the lower back. Let the hips maybe sway a little bit from side to side and give a nice tight hug. And then let the arms come down beside the body, but keep the knees in over the body. Tuck in the chin and let the neck be long, the jaw be soft. On the next inhale, push the right heel up towards the ceiling. Let the right leg be long up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, bring it back in over the belly. And repeat that on the other side. Inhale, push the left heel up towards the ceiling, stretching the left leg. Exhale, bring that knee in over the body. And then bring the arm in, so you have the right leg and the left arm. And repeat that on the other side. As you inhale, let the left heel come up towards the ceiling, straightening the leg. And the right arm. And repeat that twice more, moving from side to side. And then when you're ready, trying both heels and both arms. Inhale, both heels up towards the ceiling, straightening the legs and the arms overhead. Just making sure the chin is tucked in and everything is nice and soft and relaxed. And then repeat that twice. If it's available to you, See what it's like to keep the legs up and the arms in overhead in the exhale, and bring the knees and arms back on the pause of the breath. Just to explore what it's like to move with no breath in the body. And then when you're ready, just hugging the knees in again, sensing into the lower back, just feeling into the lower back and spine, and maybe just swiggling the hips from side to side. And when you're ready, bring the feet down wide on the mat. So you have one foot at the very edge of the mat and the other foot the same. So you have the legs nice and wide on the mat. The knees are bent. And your arms then can be out at shoulder height, just resting outside of the body. Nice and relaxed. Just find a space where your shoulders are nice and relaxed and your neck is nice and relaxed. Tuck in your chin. So this is a twist where we're working from the waist down. The upper body stays on the mat and stays still, shoulders grounded. As you inhale, just tuck in the chin and feel the spine. As you exhale, drop your knees, both of them to the left, inhaling back into center. And then repeating that on the other side. Drop your knees to the right as you exhale and inhale back into center. So just moving from side to side. 3 breaths. On the inhale, sense into the openness that happens as you breathe in. On the exhale, contract the belly muscles as the legs fall to the side. And just move back again and expand and open on the inhale, and repeat that on the other side. And see what it's like to stay there for 2 or 3 breaths on either side. So you're just basically staying with the breath when you stop moving the body. So focusing on the inhalation, you can focus on that openness that's happening in the rib cage, the underarms, the lungs, just focusing on the sense of openness. And if you want to, you can rotate your head to the opposite side of the knees. On the exhale, you focus in on contracting the belly while keeping the body open. And then when you're ready, move to the other side and stay for 3 breaths. And when you're ready, come back into the center and just hug both knees in. And maybe make little circles here. 2 or 3 circles in one direction, 2 or 3 circles in the other direction with the knees hugged in. Just realigning the hips and feeling the spine. And when you're ready, coming to lie on one side and push yourself up into standing. So we're going to wake up the feet and energize the feet before we start standing. So just coming onto the tips of your toes on the right leg and just wiggling that foot around, opening and spreading the toes wide. And just sort of really get in on the toes, maybe put a little bit of pressure and bounce a little bit. And then soften back and stand onto the ball of the foot and bounce a little bit. And then maybe turning the toes underneath and wiggling them about and just bouncing a little bit on that foot as well. So really opening the toes and energizing the toes so they feel alive, particularly the big toe and the space behind the big toe. And then trying that on the other side. Again, opening the toes wide, spreading them out as much as you can, and really sort of wiggling and bouncing a little bit on those toes, sort of ballet dancing a little bit. And then come onto the ball of the foot and do the same. Just opening the space behind the big toe particularly, and bouncing a little bit on that. And then tucking the toes in and feeling the toes there, just bouncing a little bit. And just be careful, this is far more sensitive. And then having your feet about hip distance apart, but you can go a little bit wider if you want to. I find sometimes the wider foot helps to balance. Keep the toes wide, open the toes up and really stretch the toes apart and then suck them into the earth. Pull up on the instep muscle, the muscle under the arch of the foot, and feel the instep muscle really pulling up the rest of the legs, pulling you into alignment. Pull up the lower belly, pull in the pelvic floor muscles and keep them in so that you feel yourself standing tall. Drop your shoulders and then drop your chin and imagine there's this imaginary string on the crown of the head, lengthening up, making the spine and the back of the neck really, really long. And then maybe coming up on an inhale on the right foot, just opening the toes, and then switching to the left. And just move from foot to foot, just opening up the toes, strengthening the feet, getting the muscles and the tendons and the little bones activated. And just moving from foot to foot, not worrying too much about breath, just getting the feeling of the feet being alive and activated. And if it's available to you, then bring in the breathing and the hands, inhaling, let the feet come up, exhaling, let the feet come down. Keep the belly tucked in. Inhaling, let the feet come up. Bringing the arms up to about shoulder height, exhaling, let the feet come down. I'm just going to show you what's happening with the rest of the body as you keep practicing. Inhaling, the feet are coming up. Exhaling, the feet are coming down. The arms are coming up to shoulder height. Focus on the spot in front of you, keeping your awareness on the spot, inhaling and exhaling. Let's see if we can bring the arms all the way up. Inhaling and lengthening up with the arms. Exhaling, bringing the arms back down. Pulling the belly in. Keep the belly in as you inhale also. Inhaling. Lengthening up. Exhaling, coming back down. And once more, inhaling, lengthening up. Keep the muscles pulled in on the belly. Exhaling, coming back down. And then we're going to move the feet about a hip distance, so shoulder distance apart, keeping the toes facing forward. Inhale and push your hands away from you and up towards the ceiling. So you've got the arms quite straight. Keep the arms straight as you can throughout. Push the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, let the body sway to the right. Keep the feet grounded. Inhaling, push the arms up towards the ceiling. Opening the rib cage, keep the chin tucked in, keep the head nice and relaxed. Exhaling, sway to the left. Keep the feet grounded. Inhaling, stretching up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, come on back down. And we're going to repeat that twice more. Keeping the hands, if you can, if you find it's uncomfortable, you can soften the elbows. But keeping the palms pushed away from you helps with the shoulders, helps with posture. Inhaling, push the palms up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, swaying the body to the side. Making sure you keep everything still in the neck. Inhaling, lengthen up with the hands, palms up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, keep the feet grounded. As you lengthen away, you're lengthening the upper body away from the lower body. Inhaling, push both hands up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, let the hands come back down. And this time I'm just going to actually practice silently so you can just focus yourself inwards a little bit more, focusing a little bit more on the breath. And we're going to just inhale. And then relax the arms down and maybe just shake the shoulders and everything be a little bit loosey-goosey after that. Just shake everything out. That's quite a strong pose on the shoulders. And we're going to do a nice warrior stand. I like warriors because I really feel they're very grounding. And they give you a sense of being in the lower body, which is really good for us because we live too much in our heads. And also it's really good to be grounded and earthed, I think, during these times. So just adjusting the camera so you can see what's happening with my feet. So both of your feet are standing at the back of your mat and they're about hip distance apart. And we're going to step out with our right foot slightly. So the toes will actually be facing towards the edge of the mat a little bit. And then step forward with the left foot. So this foot we're going to step forward with, keeping both feet on the mat, keeping knees straight. I'm just going to adjust the camera to show you the rest. So check in with your hip bones. I want your hip bones to face forward like two lights in a car. They would be beaming outwards. So just checking in with your hip bones. And you want to have them in alignment as well. So run your hands across and make sure they're more or less in a level with each other. So you might need to move this hip forward a bit and this one back a bit to make an adjustment. And just feel that you're balanced as well and grounded, that you don't have your feet too close together because that would make you quite wobbly. And then inhaling, let your hands rest on your hips until you really feel into this posture. Inhale, let the front knee just come forwards and you'll feel an openness happening in the back leg, just a real nice stretch. And then exhale, focus on pulling the muscles of the belly back in and straighten the front leg. And then repeating that, inhaling, bending the front leg, exhaling, straightening the front leg. So I'm going to do this to the side as well so you can see what's happening. Just keep breathing and keep practicing as I move. So even in this pose in neutral, you should feel a nice big stretch in the back of the leg, all the way from the back of the buttock right down to the heel. And bring the arms in as we inhale and deepen into the front knee. Exhaling, pull the muscles of the belly, just pulling the muscles of the belly back as you straighten the front leg. Inhaling, lengthen up on the inhale, deepen into the front knee. Exhale, pull the pelvic floor muscles and the lower belly back and up as the arms come down. And this time stay here on the exhalation. And come down in the pose. And just repeat that once more. Noticing the space as you bring the arms up. Notice the shoulder blades. Exhale, pull the muscles of the belly and the pelvic floor in and up. Pause your breath and move. And then step back into neutral. And just stand here for a moment and feel and sense into the difference between the left side and the right side. Notice the left nostril and the right nostril. And we'll just repeat that on the other side. Stepping out with the other foot, the left foot, angling the toes slightly towards the long end of the mat, and stepping forward with the right foot. Aligning the hip bones, feel the hip bones, you want them both facing forward, and you want to have them more or less in level line. And again, get that sense of being grounded and balanced. And inhaling, bringing the arms forward and up. Exhaling, pull the muscles of the belly back in as you straighten the front leg. So you're not really moving your upper body, you're doing anything. You're simply bending the front knee and raising the arms. And then exhaling, pulling the muscles of the belly in. So as you deepen into the front knee, you should really feel a deeper stretch in the back leg. And as you bring the arms up, this should really open up all this part of the hip and give you a nice stretch as well. See if you can stay here on the exhale. Keep the muscles of the belly pulled in and move in the pose. And just repeat that twice more. Keeping the hands nice and long. And when you're ready, stepping back. And again, just sensing into the different sensations, how the body feels on one side, the nostrils, just noticing. And so to bring a bit of balance in after that posture, we're going to work with a squat. We've done this squat before, so just letting one foot rest on one side of the mat, so it's a wide-legged squat. And the toes are faced slightly outwards. So they're slightly angled. They're not facing forwards like that. They're facing outwards. Toes are a little bit further out from the ankles. And you want to keep your knees and toes in alignment. So we'll be squatting with the knees moving outwards as well to keep them over the toes. So we're going to work very slowly with the squat, more about getting a feel for it rather than doing anything fast, just really feeling into what's happening in the pelvis. So what's happening on the inhale is I'm going to just let my arms come out as I inhale and feel into my buttocks and just soften the knees. On the exhale, I'm going to pull the muscles of my belly back. Just stay where you are and I'll show you from the side as well. I'm going to keep pulling the muscles of my belly back and just sort of sit down a little bit and then come back up. And just show you from here so you can see what's happening. On the inhale, just using the arms as an anchor and also getting a feel for the body, creating space all around here on the inhale. Breathe into the area, inhaling. As you exhale, soften the knees and the pelvis and the buttocks come right back. Inhaling, come back up. Exhaling. Pull the belly and the muscles of the belly back. As you sit backwards, you're literally squatting onto something imaginary. And then inhale, push yourself back up. Use the arms to help you, keeping a sense of being balanced. So what you need to watch for are the knees moving in. You want to keep your knees really aligned with the feet. Exhaling, pull the muscles of the belly as you sit back. And inhaling, push into the feet as you bring yourself back up. Exhaling, pull the muscles of the belly. Sit back, sit back, sit back. You're really making this part of your body as big and as open as you can until you actually come to wherever your body comes. And then you inhale, push into the feet and bring yourself back up. And just do that twice more, focusing on your own breath and focusing on the body. And as you breathe in, try and imagine the in-breath is opening all those areas of tightness. And then when you're ready, come to stand and just rest for a moment. And we're going to do a nice balancing posture. We've done this before, so I go through it anyway. I just want to show you what's going to happen with the feet. Unfortunately, I need to kind of angle the camera to do that. So we're going to have both feet facing forward, toes really open, connected to the earth, and pull up on the instep. And then I'm going to bring my weight and attention to the left side of the body, and I'm just going to gently lift the foot back. So that's the legs. and we're going to balance. So I just want to show you what's happening with the upper body. So we've got our legs balanced, both feet facing forward, toes open and connected deeply to the earth, pulling up on the instep. And then on the inhale, I'm going to bring my weight and my awareness to my left leg. And I'm going to let my arms be long. Both arms are up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, I'm just going to allow the right arm to drop down and the right leg to travel backwards and staying here for a breath. So we might stay here for 5 inhales and 5 exhales. Come back into that openness with inhalation and pulling on muscles and contracting the lower belly on the exhale. So I'll just show you the next time what that looks like from the side, moving to the other side of the body. Show you what it looks like from the side perspective. Both arms are up towards the ceiling. We're moving into the left side of the body, bringing your weight and awareness to the left side of the body, and then allowing the right arm to drop down to the side and bringing, that was the left arm, wasn't it? Yeah, can't get mixed up. The opposite leg, we're doing the opposite leg. So opposite arm, opposite leg. One arm is straight out and one leg is straight back. So this arm, you need to kind of keep it upright. So it might have a tendency to move a little bit. Try and keep that upright. And again, just focusing on a little spot in front of you. Connect with your breath. Opening the upper body a little bit to sort of look upwards a little bit. It gives you that lift in the chest. And if it's available, you might send the palm of the right arm or the arm that's up towards the ceiling. Just push the palm up a little bit. Open the palm out and push it up towards the ceiling. And it gives you a lovely stretch in the side body. And then when you're ready, just let the body settle back into standing again. And we're just going to close with a nice forward fold. Just letting the hands come to rest here in the chest. Focusing on the inhale. As you exhale, fold over from the waist. Just making it very simple. Let the fold come from the waist. Soften the knees as you fold the upper body over to meet the lower body. And then on the inhale, push into the floor and bring yourself back up. Uncoil the spine. Keep the chin tucked in. I just show you from the side. Inhaling, just relax the arms, connect with the feet. Exhaling, pull the muscles of the belly in and up as you fold from the waist. You're literally folding over and let the upper body nice and relaxed. Inhaling, push into the feet, uncoil the spine. Keep the knees soft, don't lock the joints. Keep the chin tucked in. And then come back up. And repeat that twice more. Keeping it very simple, inhaling, exhaling, fold over in the exhale. Contract muscles of the belly and the pelvis. Keep contracting the muscles of the belly and the pelvis. And keep pushing those muscles in and up as you fold over. And then inhale, push the feet into the ground. Uncoil your spine, keep your knees soft, keep your chin tucked in. And repeating that once more in your own time. And when you're finished, just coming to stand, rest for a moment, and then prepare yourself for Shavasana. Making yourself super cozy. Maybe putting on socks or a jumper. Lying down with blankets, cushions, pillows, whatever it is you need. Maybe dimming the lights if you have lights on, just making sure that it's nice and cozy, or pulling the curtains, which makes the room a little bit darker too. Just making yourself super comfortable in whatever way you can in your own home. And taking a few moments now to really settle. You know, you're creating a little nest for yourself here. Just fool around, make yourself super comfortable. It's nice to have your legs long and let the feet, the toes turn away from each other, fall away from each other. That's quite nice. Try that and see how it feels. It relaxes the hips. And then really tucking in the chin and have the support you need at the back of the neck. You might need a pillow or a cushion or blankets or towels or something rolled up. And then checking in with the arms. You might have your arms wide, shoulder height, a little bit like a starfish, or you might have them in closer to the body. And you might like your palms facing up, facing the body, or resting on the belly is nice too. Just finding a place where you can come to stillness. And then consciously choosing to move into a place of feeling and being, and letting aside thinking and doing, just for a while. And as you breathe in now, just imagine there's this wonderful wave of relaxation traveling over the head, over the upper body, coming down to meet the feet on the inhalation. It's like the sea is coming down to wash over you. And as you exhale, there's this beautiful energy cleansing all of the body of tension as you exhale it back over the head. And just repeat that twice more. Inhale, this wave travels over the body from head to toes. Exhale, it travels back through the body from feet to head, just washing everything away. And just once more. And now resting your awareness at the soles of your feet. And we're going to just guide our breath from point to point in the body. And as we inhale, we're bringing in the nourishment of our heart's prayer. So I planted the seed of self-acceptance, but you might have decided you wanted something else. So you might decide now you want to bring something different in. And as you breathe out, it's just like a cleansing, a washing away of the body, any energy that's stagnant that needs to leave. Starting with your awareness at the soles of your feet. Without any effort, it's just a natural, you just focus on your natural breath, but your awareness travels from the sole of the foot to the ankle for 4 breaths. Traveling with your awareness from the sole of your foot to your kneecap for 4 breaths. Traveling with your awareness from the sole of your foot to your hip for 4 breaths. The soles of your feet to your navel. The soles of your feet to your heart space for 4 breaths. From the soles of your feet to your throat for 4 breaths. From the soles of your feet to the eyebrow center for 4 breaths. From the soles of your feet to the crown center, the space above the head for 4 breaths. Just allowing the breath to flow softly and naturally, trusting that the breath has this power and opens, nourishes, closes, and lets go naturally. Keeping the body soft and relaxed and still. And when you're ready, 2 breaths from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. Two breaths from the soles of the feet to the eyebrow center. Two breaths from the soles of the feet to your throat center. Two breaths from the soles of your feet to your heart center. Nourishing the heart with self-acceptance. Two breaths from the soles of the feet to the belly button. To the hips for 2 breaths. From the feet to the knees for 2 breaths. And from the soles of the feet to the ankles for 4 breaths. Just washing everything away in the final 4 breaths. It's like that final rinse in the wash. And then coming to rest back into the heart space and just noticing how the heart is feeling now. Just noticing the space of the heart deep inside the end, behind the breastbone in the center of the chest. Then resting your awareness in the eyebrow center and noticing the mind. How is the mind feeling now? Notice the space around your body. How is the energy body feeling now? And then notice the physical body. Become aware of the whole of your physical body. Sense into the physical sensations of the body and check And notice, how is the body feeling now? Feel into the body, head to toe, front and back, inside, outside, left and right. How is the body feeling now? And then coming back to notice the inhalation at the nose. Just noticing as you inhale that you're becoming aware of the outside world and you're bringing that world with you on the inhale to meet the inner world. And then as you exhale, you're bringing the inner world of the self back out into the world around you. So as the practice comes to an end, you can decide to lie there for another 5 or 10 minutes in your own home with Shavasana and just be in the stillness. Or you can start to come back, breathe yourself back into the body and come back into the space around you, sensing and feeling the body lying on the mat. Sensing and feeling the body lying on the mat in this room, in this place, in your home. Or choosing to lie there and just continue that lovely being with the inner body and being in stillness. Thanking you all so much for being here, and I will see you next week.